Coming to child's pose, the big toes touching, knees nice and wide, forehead to the earth and palms flat. Come to a steady breath as you land and arrive. Sink your sit bones towards the earth. Start to lift your belly button up towards the front of your spine as you creep your fingertips as far forward to the front of your mat as you possibly can. Keep the breath steady. And on your next inhale, make your way up to your all fours. Create a box shape with your body. And coming into your cat and cows. And as you inhale, the belly drops, the heart goes forward, and you look high. And as you exhale, rounding, puffing the spine in between the scapulars. Stick with the breath as you come back to your cow. Shoulder blades press into the upper back. And exhale, press into the hands and feel energy shooting up the arms as you round. Take a few more rounds with your own breath, your own pace. To a neutral spine. And bring your big toes together and take your knees out slightly, coming to a hovering cat. You're pushing into the tops of your feet. The knees float off your mat, just a centimeter or two. It's awakening your core, creating heat within your body. Just for one more count. And lower the knees, tuck your toes, and push back into a downward facing dog. You've got a few rounds of your breath just to pedal out through your feet, awakening the ankles, calves, knees. Give your head a little shake. Let's really land, get into your physical body. And once you're ready, find stillness. Create as much length as you possibly can, grounding into the inner palms, thumbs, and index fingers. Belly draws in as your heart beams back. Rise onto the balls of your feet and bend the knees. Look in between your hands. Step to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold, soften into the knees and interlace your hands behind you. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and try to join your inner wrists as the hands drop over your head. Relax the neck. Hands come back towards your sacrum and then back to your mat. Roll up all the way to standing, heavy in the head. It's the last thing to land. Sweep the arms to the sky on your breath in. Palms join, gaze up to your thumbs. Find length. Uttanasana, folding from your hips. Ardha Uttanasana, lengthen from coccyx to crown. High plank and pause in your plank. One straight line of energy from your heels to the crown of your head. Press into your hands and energetically draw your thumbs in towards your midline. You're strong and long. Your next breath in, you're going to move as far forward as you can, shoulders in front of the wrists. Take your time as you lower all the way down, elbows brushing the rib cage. Baby Cobra, inhale. Exhale, forward to the earth. Back to your Baby Cobra. You're using all of the muscles along your spine to float your heart forward to the earth. Back to your Baby Cobra. Push into the tops of your feet. And then tuck your toes under. Back to your downward facing dog. You've got 3 to 5 breaths. Try to be as still as you possibly can. Resisting urge to fidget. Stay focused with your breath. And balls of your feet. Bend the knees, look forward, stepping or floating to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, flatten your back. Exhale, fold. To standing, ground to feet to reach up to fingertips. Prayer position, find your center. Back up to the sky with your arms. Fold yourself in half. Uttanasana. Ardha Uttanasana. High plank, step back. Move forward as you inhale. Low plank, just halfway down, shoulders in line with the elbows. Up dog if you're ready, or you just stick with your cobra. Downward facing dog, 3 to 5 breaths. Stillness. Constantly fine-tuning your downward facing dog. Finding balance of effort and ease. Balls of your feet. Bend the knees, look forward, step or float to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, push your shoulder blades into the upper back, draw your belly in, and exhale, fold. To standing, inhale, palms join, gaze up, prayer position, find your center. Repeat, Surya Namaskar, A. Fold yourself in half. Ardha Uttanasana. High plank, step back. Move forward. Shoulders in front of the wrist. Low plank. Strong and long. Up dog or cobra. You want all of your 10 toes pressing into the earth. Downward facing dog. 3 to 5 breaths. Walk your hands back to your feet. Peace fingers wrap around your big toes. Come to a halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Elbows go wide. You're lengthening the backs of the legs. So you can micro bend the knees if you need to. If the knees are straight, lift your kneecaps up towards your hip bones. And then draw the crown of the head straight towards the earth. Release the big toes. Walk your hands back to the top of your mat. Join your feet together. Gaze in between the hands. Come to the balls of your feet and bend the knees. Little floats of your knees into your chest. Keep your elbows straight and try to land as light as a feather. Good. You got about 5 of these. And on your 5th one, you land your feet up to where your hands are. Halfway lift, lengthen. And exhale, fold. Utkatasana, chair pose. Good, sink your bottom towards the earth and take the weight into your heels. Straighten your elbows and try to sit up as straight as you possibly can. Keep breathing. Good, lowering down to Navasana. Right on your sit bones. And push your back ribs forward. Draw your belly in. Energize your toes. How straight can you get your spine? Good. Feet come back down to the earth. Utkatasana without using your hands. And Uttanasana, fold, interlace fingers. Relax the neck. And back to Utkatasana. How low can you go with your bottom? Exhale, fold, interlace your fingers behind you. Drop them over the head towards the front of the room. Back to Utkatasana. And Uttanasana, fold. Halfway lift, length. Bakasana, crow pose. Get your knees up nice and high towards the underarms. You might stay here with your feet touching your mat, or you'll start to float one foot, maybe the other. Good. Snuggle in the elbows. From here, lower your feet back down to your mat. Step back, 1 foot at a time into a low plank. Up dog, fill your lungs with fresh breath. And downward facing dog. Walk your hands back to your feet. Gorilla pose. Palms of the hands face up as you take your feet on top of your palms. Bend the knees and get the toes right up to the creases of your wrists. And completely relax your neck. You can rock back and forwards. And then releasing the hands, walking them back to the top of your mat. Big toes touch, heels slightly apart. You've got another 5 floats of your knees back into your chest. Keep your focus in between your hands. Keep your elbows straight. And on your 5th one, feet land up where your hands are. Halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Utkatasana, chair pose. Coming into a twist to the right, hooking your left upper arm bone to the right thigh bone. Thumbs towards your sternum. Keep breathing. Good, and back to Utkatasana. Over to the other side. You really need to hook that arm bone to the left thigh bone. And trying to stack your left rib cage on top of your right. Keep your knees in one straight line and try to sink your bottom a little closer towards the earth. Back to Utkatasana, breathe in. Uttanasana, fold. Ardha Uttanasana. Bakasana, second round, knees up nice and high. 1 foot at a time floats up, heels towards your bottom. Good, either stepping back 1 foot at a time or shooting both feet at the same time towards a low plank. Up dog or cobra, back to your down dog. Release all of the breath. Right leg floats to the sky. Keep your hips square. Tiger curl knee to your tummy, chest, and the tip of your nose. Warrior 1. Ground your back heel. Turn that foot out 45 degrees. Melt into your front knee. And high to low plank. On the exhale. Up dog or cobra, push shoulder blades into the upper back. And downward facing dog. Left leg inhales up to the sky. Tiger your knee into your tummy, your chest. Tip of the nose, shoulders over the wrists. Warrior 1. Find your foundations. Grow from your feet to your fingertips. High to low plank. Moving forward before you lower. Upward facing dog. Fill with fresh breath. Down dog. Use your belly to lift yourself up and back. Right leg to the sky. Keep your hips square. Tiger. All the way to the tip of your nose. Warrior 1. Chaturanga on your breath out. Strong and long as you lower. Up dog, your hips, thighs will lift off your mat. Downward facing dog, soften the heels to the earth. Left leg, keep all of your 5 left toes pointing down. And tiger, all the way to the tip of the nose, shoulders land over the wrists, and like as light as a feather, you ground your foot. High to low plank. Moving forward. Shoulders in line with the elbows, up dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. Balls of your feet, and then dropping to the knees into Anahatasana. Forehead rests. Or, if you've got a little more space, the chin to the earth. This is a big heart opener. And pressing into the palms. Steady breath. And make your way to dolphin. Shoulders directly above your elbows. Palms flat or either interlaced. And relax your head completely, and then push into the forearms. Puff your spine slightly, tuck your toes. Up you come, bottom high, creating a V shape with your body. Shoulders do not move. They stay completely straight above the elbows. The only thing that's moving are your feet, your legs towards your face. Pausing here. Wrapping in the outer upper arms. Good. Then slowly walking your feet back to a forearm plank. Flatten the palms. Swivel your heels towards the right edge of your mat. Keep both of the forearms grounded. Back up to balls of feet. Swivel to the left edge of your mat with your heels. Back to the balls of your feet. Sphinx pose. Lower your thighs and hips. Keep your elbows under the shoulders. Press into the tops of the feet. Lift your kneecaps forward and energetically draw your elbows back towards your hip bones. Interlace your fingers now behind you. The knuckles shoot straight back, and this lifts your forehead and chest up off your mat. Lifting hands now off your bottom. You might find a little more height. Your feet float and you create a banana shape with your body. Stay long at the back of your neck. Good. Your fullest expression. And slowly release. Wrists under your elbows next to the rib cage. Up dog or cobra. Push back, downward facing dog. Right leg floats up to the sky. This time open up your hips. Good. Get long and tiger curl, knee to the tip of your nose. Warrior two. Sink into your front knee as it draws out and back towards your right bottom cheek. Flip the right arm, reverse, lift up and out of your hips. Extended side angle. If you have a block, you want to block to the outer edge of your right foot and press down into your block. Right arm reaches forward, palm faces down, revolving ribs. Come to your lunge. Pivot all of your 10 toes to the right edge of your mat. Twisted Skandasana. Back to your lunge. Good old-fashioned Skandasana, bending into the left knee. Your hands can stay to the earth or prayer position if you're balanced. Lift your pelvic floor, draw your belly in and lengthen your spine. Back to your lunge. Side plank. Right arm directly above your left arm. And float the right leg and flip it over. Ball of the right foot behind you. Lift your belly button up to the sky, your hips and heart open. And tiger curl. Fallen angel. Shoot the right leg to the left edge of your mat. Press down into the right hand. Lift your hips. Back to your tiger. Three-legged dog. And downward facing dog. Upward facing dog. You want to move forward like a wave. Push shoulder blades into the upper back. Low plank. Snuggle in the elbows. Try to stick with me as you come up to a high plank. Downward facing dog. Settle. Left leg up to the sky. Open up the hips. Get long all the way up to your tippy toes. Push down into your hands. Keep your shoulders square. Tiger. Knee all the way to the tip of your nose. Warrior two. Front heel in line with the arch of your back foot. Let's sink into your left knee as it draws back and out. Flip left arm. Reach up and back. Find length. Don't crunch. Extended side angle. Left hand to the outer edge of your left foot. If you have a block, use it. Right arm reaches forward, palm facing down. Tailbone heading towards your right heel. Scoot underneath your left bottom cheek. And revolve right ribs on top of your left. Back to your lunge, your twisted Skandasana. Pivot all of your 10 toes towards the left edge of your mat. Sink and hover your right hip. Back to your lunge, Skandasana. Your choice of hands to earth or balancing in prayer position. Make sure your pelvic floor is lifting, spine is long. Side plank, right hand to the earth. Left foot on top of your right. Push up and out of your right shoulder. You float the left foot. Lift your hips and flip it over. Reach forward with the left arm. Belly button reaching up to the sky. Tiger curl into your fallen angel. Left foot to the right edge of your mat. Right arm reaching up to the sky. Keep lifting the hips and pressing into the knuckles of your left hand. Energy shooting up to the right fingertips. Back to your tiger and your three-legged dog. Back to your downward facing. Upward facing dog. Move forward. Low plank. Snuggle in the elbows. Don't let your hips sink as you push yourself up to your high plank. Downward facing dog. Soften the heels. Bring your feet together at the back of your mat. Bend the knees. Look forward. Float. Halfway lift. And exhale, release. Utkatasana, chair pose. Breathe in. Navasana. Land back onto your sit bones. Good. Ardha Navasana. Shoot your feet forward. Hover. Legs and shoulders. Draw your belly in. Grab onto the outer thighs. Strong and long from your toes all the way to the crown. And release. Big stretch from your toes to your fingertips. How long can you get? Setting up for your bridge pose. Hands come down either side of the body, palms flat. Heels under the knees. Take your time as you mindfully peel one vertebrae up off your mat at a time. Hips go high, and the flesh of your bottom moves forward rather than crunching in to your sacrum. Feel the thighs working to keep your hips high. Grounding into your feet evenly, and maybe interlacing the hands underneath you and bringing the tips of the shoulder blades a little closer. And slowly lowering all the way back down. And breathing. Second round, make your way back up mindfully with your breath. You can either stay in bridge or come into your full wheel. Get your hands up around your ears, shoulder width distance. Push into the hands, come to the crown of your head and snuggle the elbows in towards each other. And you're going to push into the hands and make your way up from there. And you're working your feet and your legs. Completely relax the neck and think of your belly button reaching up to the sky. One more breath and slowly make your way down, tucking the chin to your chest. Supta Baddha Konasana, one hand onto your tummy, one hand onto your heart. Take a few rounds of some deep belly breaths. Hands come to the outer edges of your knees. Snuggle legs into your chest and just flatten the spine. Arms go out wide, shoulder width. Palms face down, dropping the knees to the right. Big twist into the thoracic. Take some breaths into the left rib cage. Back up to center and dropping knees over to the other side. Keep the shoulders flat, and the closer you get your knees to your underarms, the deeper experience you'll get. Back up to center. Happy baby. Peace fingers wrap around the big toes, or the outer edges of your feet, or even your ankles. Knees heading towards the earth, either side of the rib cage. Your whole spine is flat. Good. Straighten the legs up towards the sky. Press the heels into the ceiling. Into a sleeping pigeon. Right ankle onto the left thigh. And snuggle the left knee into your chest. Really important to keep that right foot alive and flexing back towards the right knee. Deep breaths into the right bottom cheek, your glute, the outer hip. Good. Gently release, straighten legs up to the sky. Left ankle onto the right thigh. Right knee snuggles in. Sprawling out flat on your back to your mat. Breathing to the left bottom cheek. Gently release, legs, lengthen up to the sky. Flatten your palms either side of your body and lower your legs super slowly all the way down to your mat. Shavasana, rest. Palms facing the sky. You're completely surrendering every single cell in your body. Come to your normal breath. Let your body restore. Come back to your breath and slowly start to invite movement back into your body. Feel free to stay as you are or take your arms up over your head, big stretch. When you're ready, roll to your favorite side. Just take a moment. And keeping the eyes softly shut, push yourself up to a comfortable seat. Anjali Mudra, your prayer position. Namaste. Bowing in gratitude.